I need to be able to hear.
What's wrong with you?
I can't hear it.
Okay, I muted all participants, so Kelsey, if you need to unmute yourself, go ahead. I also hit record, so it's already recording. I'm going to go ahead and mute myself and then get started when you're ready.
All right, so I don't have any slides tonight. We're just going to talk and keep this kind of open. And so if you guys don't have a pen and paper, can you guys go grab yourself a pen and paper? I'm going to give you a minute to do that because I want you guys to really visualize your why and write a few things down. So I'm going to just give you a quick minute so you can do that. Maybe tissues. Yeah, we're going to dig deep tonight because I like to dig deep. All right, I see a few have still left, so I'll wait just one more second till they return. I wanted to do this last week, but I had a little emergency happen with my little one, so it gave me some extra time to put stuff together, which I was happy about. All right, so we're gonna start. So I asked you on the post to write your why and to keep it simple. And so right now, I want you to rewrite your why, or if you already have it on paper, that's fine. But I want you to write down your why, like your right now why. I don't want like later on in 20 years, I want right now why. Okay, now, I said to keep it simple, and the reason why is because I think we get lost in our why sometimes. And the reason why we get lost in our why is because we make it so big and so glamorous that we don't focus on the little stuff and the little wins first. So I want you guys to go around quickly, and we're not gonna do everybody, but if you feel the need to share your why, just like really quick, like for me, my why is to financially get $500 a week so that I can pay off debt and be financially free. Ta-da. Okay, so, and what that would do for my family would be huge. We would be able to do a ton. So that's my why. And so unmute yourself quickly, share your quick why, and we'll just go for like a minute. We don't have to share everybody's, but if you feel the need to share your why, shout it out. I want to hear it. Just unmute yourself and speak.
All right, I'll go. My why is money, so that way I can continue to stay home and be a full-time Beachbody coach. And I want to make at least $600 a week, so that way I can continue living this life of freedom and not working for a boss.
Awesome. Who's next?
Mine is similar. Mine would be to pay off all of my debt so that I can become a full-time Beachbody coach and retire myself from my full-time corporate job.
I'm doing this to provide my family with the financial freedom and so that I'm able to stay home with them and not have to work my 36 hours every single week for 12-hour shifts.
Okay, who's next?
I want to be able to stay home with my kids, so because I hate sending them to daycare.
I'm kind of like that too. But to piggyback on that, I don't want to miss milestones.
Mine is to be home with my kids too and not have to send them to my ex-husband's house every day after school because they don't like going there. And then to become financially independent and not have to go work at a job that I absolutely hate everything about.
Mine is total financial freedom, just being able to do things for others and myself without having a second thought about money.
Okay, so we'll stop right here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because I've been struggling, and this is something that I've been reflecting that's helped me get my ass back in gear today, because the past few days, and I know a lot of you have been feeling like this, is the past few days, the past week, the past month has been really hard. And I think that's because we're so busy. Summertime in Maine, or I know some of you don't live here, but summertime in Maine is the time to go out, to have fun, to do stuff with your friends and family. It's the only time, because the other time, you know, we're spending a lot inside. So now I'm going to ask you the hard question, now that I asked you the easy question. And the hard question is, now, stating your why, are you doing what you're supposed to be doing every single day to get to your why? What you just stated. For yes, put your hand up. For no, put your hand down. Or just shake your head no, I guess. So now I want you to look back at the best month you've ever had in your Beachbody career. From start, either when you first started, think really hard. What were you doing those months? How did you feel in those months? Did you make the most money those months? Did you help the most people those months? Did it bring you financial freedom on those months? Was your heart filled with ease? And the reason why I'm digging deep is because I had to ask myself these questions. And the leaders have been doing weekly calls with Ryan. And we've been really digging deep of, are we really doing our work? Are we truly doing our work? And for example, the reason why I asked you those questions is because January, February, and March, I hit SC20. I followed 80-day obsession to a T. I shared my life authentically. I shared my progress authentically. I helped the most people in those months. My challenge groups were on fire. Everything about those 3 months, the financial part of getting $500 to $600 a week, seeing that, what it did for my family, and it felt, like Joan just said, it felt fucking awesome. So why aren't we doing what we were doing back then now? Because I sure as hell am not doing what I did back then now. And I totally know that I'm not doing what I am doing now because 1, I've been eating like crap all summer. 2, I've been enjoying myself more than 80-20. I went on vacation. I didn't work at all. Yeah, I worked out a few times, but I didn't work at all. You know, I stopped all the things that I was doing. And that orchestrates to our audience, that orchestrates to our challengers, that orchestrates everywhere. That's how everybody is going to feel if that's what we're putting off. If we're not putting all that we have to what we were doing when we were successful, then it's not going to portray now. And I see the numbers are totally, for Success Club, are totally lower. So I want to ask you guys again, what are you doing that's differently? Because it does feel different. It's harder. It feels awful. And I'm not doing what I did back then. So it's simple. Commit to a program, do the program, have fun, do what you were doing in those successful months. And like I said, I'm not perfect. I'm saying this because I'm realizing and looking back as I'm doing these calls with Ryan and realizing, you know, what I was doing back then when I'm hitting SC20, and here I am, I have 0 points on the board and it's the 13th and I'm scared as shit. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. But what is that portraying? Yeah, do your workout, drink your shake. And I can say it's been excuses, it's been my daughter, it's been all this, but you know what? When I look back in January and when I was doing stuff, I still had all the same chaos. I still had all the same stuff going on. I still had all the stuff, but I made it a priority to fit in my work, to fit in my schedule times, to eat appropriately, to spend time on Sundays to meal prep. And I did all these things and I showcased it. That's all I did differently. And what am I doing now? I'm just basically showing my workouts that I did my workouts. And yeah, we all know what we need to do, and it's just doing it. But the reason why I had you look back at your why is because when we break down our why and we break down, the simple stuff of, our why and what we want, and we're not doing it. So what are those things in your life that are stopping you? What are those things that in your life are, are different from your most successful months? Now, chances are it's not a whole lot. It's just a different type of chaos. It's a different type of busy. And you still have to make these months, because summers are hard, you need to make these months still a priority. And that's what I'm realizing is ever since I started, summer months were always my hardest. It's when I've always fallen off track. It's when I've kind of, feeling like I'm barely staying afloat. And it's because I slack off on all the things that I know what to do. So it's nothing that we're, not doing. I mean, it's stuff that we're not doing that we need to be doing. So basically, some things that I came up with that, we start getting ourselves in this mindset too of believing the lies, believing the excuses, believing the chaos, overthinking, doubting ourselves. And that's where I was at, was like, I'm not a good enough person. I'm not a good enough coach. I am not worthy of this opportunity to, share with other people. I'm just not good. And last week I had somebody shame me on Facebook, and that threw me for a loop. And I had all this stuff happen to me about all this stuff, and it literally threw my mindset for a loop. And I believed it. I truly believed it. So what did I resort back to? I resorted back to, my PD of getting my mind right again, not believing the lies, getting my mind right, going back to my biggest focus and staying focused on my why and not making excuses for anything. And, I would say, oh, it's time, I'm going to work in about 5 minutes. I'm going to sit down and work in 5 minutes. And here I am, it's 3:00 and I haven't had a single chance to sit down because I've done the laundry. I've, taken care of the kids' mess. We've taken walks or this and that. And I had an appointment this morning. We all have those things that consume our day. So some things that I gave you guys that you can practice every day to cut out things in your life that literally stop you from where you want to be. So some things that you can improve are come up with a mantra or saying like every single morning and say that to yourself. Write it down. Just say it every single day. Something that you wholeheartedly believe, and just stick to it no matter what. That even if I'm going to have a bad day, I'm going to have a good day and today's a new day, or whatever, whatever mantra you want to say. 2, cut out the bad content. Cut out things in your life that are wasteful. Cut out the things that, you don't need to be doing, like scrolling Facebook every single day, or scrolling Instagram stories every single day, or, listening to somebody that has nothing to do with Beachbody, or something that has, nothing with filling your mind, or things like that. Cut out the bad stuff in your everyday stuff. And last, prepare. If you don't prepare, you fail. And, I look back at when I started 80 Day Obsession, every Sunday I made it an opportunity for me to meal prep every single week so that my food would be perfect throughout the week. Because that's like my hardest thing that I struggle with. I don't struggle with the workouts, I struggle with my food. So for me, meal prepping every Sunday. 80 Day Obsession gave me a schedule, and that's another thing that I loved about this, is that 80 Day Obsession gave me, I know a lot of people hated the time nutrition, but I loved it because it gave me that time every single day to, you know, plan to know what I eat, when I'm eating, and I had my food prep for the entire week. So it was, for me, it was a win-win. It was no guessing. So, you know, I prepared, and that's why I succeeded. I knew every day what time I was working out, and, you know, I knew when my blocks were, when my kids were sleeping, when I could work my business, and that's what I did. So, and honestly, I won't lie, with Lift 4, I feel like I have too much leniency for my personality, and I will do it, I will finish it, but it's too lenient for me. And that's just my personality. For somebody else, it might be perfect for them. Yeah, it's a nice break from doing an hour workouts, but, you know, for me, I'm the type of person that likes to work out every day. I enjoy that. So I'm going to stick it out. I'm going to finish it, but I'm probably going back to 80 days after this because I know it worked for me. I know the schedule was perfect for me, and that was important. So these are the things that I want you guys to think about of when you're, you know, when your best month was till, you know, where you are now and the differences. That's the stuff that I want you to think about, to write down, to really analyze yourself of the differences and how you can improve and how you can be better. And I love this quote that I found today, and it was funny because I found it. I have a friend that's used to be an MMA fighter, and he wrote, "I don't win every fight, but every fight I came to win." And I looked at that as like every day, we might not have a great day, we might not win every day, but if we go into every day feeling like we're gonna win and feeling like we're gonna be successful and feeling like we're gonna rock the day, even if it's not perfect, we're still going into every single day winning. And I think that's important because I think we start some days feeling like, oh, you know, I got a lot to do today. But if you prepare, if you, you know, set your mind right each and every day, cut out the bad content, and really, like I said, going into every single day winning, nothing is going to stop you. And what keeps me going, and I know a lot of people say this constantly, is that, you know, the most successful people fail multiple times. We're going to fail in this business multiple times. We're going to have hard moments. We're going to have good moments. But the biggest thing is to not quit. You might be knocked down. You might not be where you want to be. But the biggest thing is to never quit and to keep going, no matter how hard it is, no matter how much you doubt yourself. And that's the biggest thing that I take away is, even if I suck today, tomorrow's a new day. I'm going in it winning, and, you know, we're going to kick butt, and, you know, we're going to finish this year strong. And I think that you guys all have the potential, and I know it's busy and I know it's crazy right now, but we can get through this hard time right now. It's only a little bump in the road, but from here on out, we can keep pushing. We can keep working together. We can keep, you know, on that excellent road of finishing strong, of going into everyday winning, and, you know, prepare ourselves to really cut out the bad crap and to tell ourselves we can do it and we can get there. And every day might not be rainbows and butterflies, but in the end, you know, it's, yeah, you just keep going forward, posting, do what you need to do to get you where you want to be, and really evaluate yourself. I think that's like what I've been doing the past week, is just evaluating myself over and over and over again, and analyzing what I did then to what I did now and how I can improve and how I can be better. And it's onward and upward, then you move on. So that's kind of all I had.
All you had. You almost made me cry like 5 times because
Really?
that was an amazing, yes, because that was an amazing call. That might be all you had, but you know what? This morning I did a meditation it was part of the Oprah Deepak series, and he literally said, your gift to this world is just that you are you. It's just being you. And the reason why this call went so well, and the reason why it almost brought me to tears multiple times, is because you're just being you. You're being your authentic self. The reason why you're doing so well in your business during that time is because you were just being you and you were just sharing yourself. You're not trying to make up that you did this workout that's awesome. You're not trying to make up something about how your results were. You're not trying to make up what you did during the day to attract somebody or say, oh, my life is like this right now. Like, don't you want to join me because I look like I'm, just living the dream, but really you're sitting in your house like crying in the corner. You're sharing you. And when you're sharing you, that's what attracts people to you. That authenticity is what attracts people to you. And I think that opening this call by talking about your why, I know I shared that call on the team page today that I can't even remember her name, but she started it off by saying she's constantly reminding her coaches of like, what made you start coaching in the first place? And it's so important for us to go back to, because I think sometimes we get so caught up in the I have to do this and I have to do that and like yada yada yada, and we realize that we forget that we started this business because this is our fucking ticket out. Like, this is our ticket out of shit. Like, out of working for someone else, out of not having enough money, out of working paycheck to paycheck, out of not being able to spend time with your children, out of having a shitty fucking life filled with sickness and disease that you die early and you don't accomplish what you want. Like, it is so important to realize that. Like, you chose this. You chose this because you saw the opportunity and you saw what it could do for you. And then you start squandering it and treating it like you do your own fucking job. And really, you should be looking at it like, this is my meal ticket. This is my ticket out. And direct that fucking train towards your goals and go. And like, we're the only ones who make it not fun. You know what I mean? Like, we're the ones who make it not fun. We're like, oh, I have to do that or I have to do this. But really, when it boils down to it, I mean, how many times do we all sit down to like put up a post and people start reacting to it and we message them and they're interested and all of a sudden we're like, oh my God, this is so fun. But like, up until that point, we're like, I have to go do this right now. And we don't have to. This is a blessing. This is our opportunity. And if we remember that and we remember our why and why we started this in the first place and what we truly, truly want out of this, and then we treat it the way that Kelsey just said, by just doing our best ourselves first with those vitals and sharing them, that is when we are our most successful and that's when we feel our best. And I don't know if you guys saw that in that comment section there I just said, so many times we're like, oh, I'm just going to live like YOLO. Like, it's Saturday, it's Sunday, it's Monday, I'm going to drink. It's Tuesday, I'm going to drink. I'm going to eat whatever the fuck I want. It's summer, like whatever. And then you have those moments where you start looking in the mirror and you're like, oh, my results are gone. Or like, oh, I'm gaining weight. Or like, oh,
your pants don't fit anymore.
Right. Or I'm hungover for like the 5th day in a fucking row. Yay. Like, and then you're like, wait, this is what I think is fun? Like, before I was making a shit ton of money, I felt really fucking good when I was putting on clothes and looking in the mirror. But like, I think this is fun. So it's readjusting and reminding yourself on a daily basis what that why really is for you and what it's going to take, a reality check of what it's going to take to get there. So I think that call was absolutely amazing. Thank you for sharing that with all of us.
You're welcome.
I'm sure
I hope
everybody
that
here
helps
feels that way.
light somebody up.
You lit me up, girlfriend. I love you.
Love you guys.
Thank you. I think everybody's just saying thank you. I don't think there's questions. All right. Bye.